you checked in. It's the Raggy Dolls. Raggy Dolls. Raggy Dolls. Raggy Dolls. Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls. Raggy Dolls. Raggy Dolls. Raggy Dolls. Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls are happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me.
One day, the Raggy Dolls were on their way to the big field when they met Pumpernickel, the Scarecrow. "Good morning, all," he said cheerfully. "And where might you be off to, then?" "We're going to the dark wood," explained Dotty. "Oh, well, mind how you go when you cross the big field," he warned. The Raggy Dolls looked puzzled.
"But why?" said Princess at last. "We've always been able to play there."
"Ah," said Pumpernickel with a smile. "Maybe so, but mind how you go just the same. There's been a few changes."
What changes?"
asked Hi-Fi. "You'll see," said Pumpernickel. "Off you go." When the Raggy Dolls got to the big field, they all stood and gasped.
"My goodness," said Lucy. "What's all that?"
"I think they're sort of horse jumps," said Dotty. "But who could have put them there?" wondered Claude. "Let's ask Pumpernickel," said Back to Front. "I'm sure he knows all about this." "Ah, back so soon?" laughed the Scarecrow as the Raggy Dolls came running up.
"What's going on?"
puffed Lucy. "Well, young Miss Penelope, Farmer Brown's daughter, got a little Welsh pony for her birthday, and—"
"So they are horse jumps,"
interrupted Dotty. "Wow, pony jumps at least," said Pumpernickel. "She's only just learning, you know." "That gives me an idea," said Claude. "Au revoir, Pumpernickel. Allons, mes amis, back to the big field." "Whatever are they up to now?" wondered Pumpernickel. In no time at all, the Raggy Dolls were standing among the pony jumps in the big field.
"Well, what's the idea?"
said Dotty. Claude pointed to a jump and said, "Voila! We can make some jumps of our own."
"But Claude," said Lucy, "we haven't got a pony."
No, said Claude. "You do not understand. We will, how you say, ride piggyback."
"What a super idea," said Dotty. The Raggy Dolls soon made a ring of jumps from sticks and twigs. Claude carried Princess, Hi-Fi carried Dotty, and Back to Front carried Lucy.
"You'll have to tell me which way to go, Lucy," chuckled Back to Front. "You're blocking my view."
"Who'll go first?" called Dotty. "We'll all go together," said Princess. "Let's have a race. It will be more exciting." "But what about Sad Sack?" said Lucy.
"Don't worry about me,"
said Sad Sack, only too pleased.
"I'll be the starter."
The Raggy Dolls lined up.
"On your marks,"
said Sad Sack.
"Get set, go."
The Raggy Dolls set off towards the first jump. Claude and Princess took the lead. They reached the jump, up and over, and then onto the next.
"They do look silly,"
thought Sad Sack, and he couldn't help smiling. Neck and neck, the Raggy Dolls galloped towards the last fence. Up and crash! They all ended up in a heap and lay there, shaking.
"Oh, is everybody all right?"
called Sad Sack, fearing the worst. But the Raggy Dolls were just puffed out and giggling when he got there. Sad Sack was relieved.
"I thought you'd all been hurt,"
he said, as the Raggy Dolls slowly got up. Just then, the ground began to shake. It was the unmistakable sound of horses' hooves. "Come on, giddy up, good boy," said a young girl's voice in the distance. "It's Miss Penelope," said Lucy, all in a dither. "Come on, let's hide," said Dotty. The Raggy Dolls hid under one of the jumps.
I don't think this is a good place to hide,
thought Sad Sack. And sure enough, the sound of Miss Penelope and her pony came closer and closer. The Raggy Dolls closed their eyes as the pony's hooves galloped up towards the very jump they were hiding under. "Come on, hop!" called Miss Penelope. But instead of jumping, the pony stopped suddenly, and Miss Penelope was thrown out of the saddle and over the fence. She landed with a bump. "Oh, my arm!" she cried. And then she flopped down. "She's fainted," said Dotty. "Maybe she's only puffed out, like we were." The Raggy Dolls decided to investigate. The pony was nudging Miss Penelope with his nose when they got there. "Oh, dear. What have I done? She pulled on the reins and I thought she meant stop. I didn't understand her." "Are you all right?" asked Lucy kindly. The pony looked startled. "Who are you?" he snorted. "We are the Raggy Dolls," said Dotty. "We saw what happened. Can we help in any way?" "Well, I don't know what to say," said the pony. "Words fail me. It's all been a terrible mistake, see?" Hi-Fi had been examining the girl. "I think she's broken her arm. That's what made her faint." "I've got an idea," said Back to Front. "Listen, pony." "Jeremy," said the pony. "Jeremy is my name. Miss Penelope gave it to me. Before that, it was, This is no time for introductions," said Dotty impatiently. "Never mind," said Back to Front. "Listen, Jeremy, do you know the way back to Mr. Brown's farm?" "Well, of course I do. I live there, don't I?" "Good," said Back to Front. "Then you must go there at once and fetch help." "Oh, yes, indeed," said the talkative pony. "Help is what we need, all right. And the sooner the better, if you ask me. But I wouldn't know what to say. I'm only a pony. I can talk to you and you can talk to me, but people, they're a different matter. Oh, yes, and another thing, they'll need to know where Miss Penelope is. How will I tell them that?" "No problem," said Back to Front, and he held up a flag from one of the jumps. "Here, put this in your mouth, take it to the farm, and they'll understand." "Oh, I see," said Jeremy. "Right, I'll do it. No time to be lost. Oh, by the way, talking of lost, how do you get back to the farm?" "We'll show you," sighed Dotty. The Raggy Dolls knocked on Farmer Brown's door and quickly hid behind some flower pots. Mrs. Brown opened the door and saw the pony standing there with a jump flag in his mouth. In no time at all, Penelope was brought back to the house with her arm in a sling. The next day, the Raggy Dolls couldn't help laughing when Pumpernickel told them that the doctor had said that Penelope was a very lucky girl to have such a clever pony.
It's not much of a life when you're just a pretty face. Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Look around and you will find people of every kind, like the Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls,
made him perfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers are all thumbs, stand on your two left feet and jump